evening, international waters. The picture that you see, the shipping industry is one of the main users of international waters, and it carries 90% of the world trade. It's also the most environmentally friendly mode of transportation, but also heavily regulated. Over 50 international instruments and codes that the shipping industry has to follow. Now you can imagine we go into the ship owner or to the captain and saying, okay, by the way, we have one more regulations coming your way. You have to put in another $2 million from your pocket per ship. And by the way, there is no technology right now in the market. We have to still figure out how to solve it. And that puts them in a big dilemma, and although they are willing to play the game. But the world had to act. The ballast water carried by the ships, transferring invasive species from place to place, causing havoc. Somebody has to develop a regulation, somebody has to come up with technological solutions, and the shipping industry then has to act, because there is no other way, because it's causing huge problems. And that's where the story, the GEF investment, almost 17 years back, a small amount of money GEF invested, and how it scaled up a massive investment from the private sector. I would like to share you some of the tools that we use, some of the approaches that we use that made that happen, and it is a story that was for the last 17 years. And it all began in 1999. Some of the faces are familiar. GEF, UNDP, and IMO joined hands together. People like Alduda, Andy Hudson, whom you know, and the Captain Dandu, Phil Reynolds. This captain was sent around the world to identify 6 champion countries to take this leadership project, the GloBallast partnership. First phase of GloBallast started. Of course, he identified 6 countries, India, China, Iran, South Africa, Brazil, and Ukraine, who decided to take a leadership here, high level of political engagement, international engagement in the debate there, and bringing industry and the governments at the national level through the National Task Force meeting to accelerate the effort. Yes, it did result in 4 years' time, an international convention was born. The world has adopted the Ballast Water Management Convention, and who presided the convention? India and Brazil and Ukraine, the GloBallast countries. So they did play the role in catalytically accelerating this convention process to adoption of a global convention. We had to then immediately act for implementation. That's for our famous Glo-X pyramid model. We use the global tools, we use the regional capacity building through the regional partners, and then we encourage the development of national legislations using the GEF funds. But something was missing. We need the industry to come up with solutions at the same time. And we succeeded in developing a global industry alliance. The first ever GEF Industry Alliance Fund was created by contribution from the shipping industry, who clearly saw the benefit, and we could show them the benefit. We had a flexible model, and we used the brand of IMO, GEF, and UNDP to bring the trust from the private sector to form a fund. So now you can see how the pyramid has formed. One side, the government side, other side, the industry side, where the industry funds from the industry players used for R&D forums, information exchange, and you can see at the same time the technologies matured over a period of 10 years from 0 technology to 65 technologies. We didn't stop there. We vertically and horizontally expanded. Each of the pilot countries partnered with many other countries in the region that expanded the legislative process in many, many countries, almost reaching to 70 countries in a huge expansion phase. And that really created a market for this technology, because it's important. And you can see the market from the legislations that we catalyzed has resulted in almost a $50 billion technology market that was very much needed by the industry for the technology developers. And that's what the legislators did in those countries, using this two-level, two-tier, or two-side, the pyramid model. You can see from 6 countries, now we have 70 countries benefiting, participating, engaging, and encouraging others to join. We have almost 49 countries who have ratified the convention so that they can implement and enforce it at the national level. And that was a huge step and defining moment. Look at the technologies that came up through this process, almost 65 technologies, treatment technologies, monitoring tools, handheld tools, test facilities around the world, millions of dollars investment, even new ideas of barge-based reception facilities. And all these technologies build the trust in the shipping industry that they can comply with this regulation. And $50 billion is a big investment. Look at the returns that we are going to hope, $100 billion per annum in terms of the benefits that we are going to receive by preventing this invasive species issue around the world. And that's what the scaling up is all about. getting the results back in that way in terms of the returns. And we are replicating the same model in another area now called GloMeep. It's in the energy efficiency field. Shipping is also contributing to the global emissions, also a small percentage, but we are trying to address it. There is a regulation, there are technologies, but it needs to be implemented and legislated at the national level. That's where this GEF project is coming. Very similar model, the same pyramid on both sides, government, industry side. But the industry now is, that side is more focused on technology cooperation and technology transfer, because that's what the challenge is all about. The technologies are available there, but need to be transferred to developing countries, and that's where this project is. So very similar model, two-tracks approach. But we are taking it to another level now. We are creating centers of excellence around the world. Regional centers of excellence for technology cooperation, technology transfer. We already have the funding from the EU for around 10 million euros right now to establish a center by the end of the year. All are going to benefit from the platform that we built from the GEF projects, and it's going to take. So this is about scaling up from almost zero baseline to 70 countries, 65 technologies, $50 billion investment, all aligned to sustainable development goals, mainly with the partnerships and the industry and innovation, of course, addressing water issues, at the same time climate change. And you can clearly see how the pillars build that scaling up. I would like to thank you on the last slide on behalf of the fishermen from the Caspian Sea, whose livelihood was destroyed from the invasive species. He has a hope now. There's a smile on his face, but there is something coming up, and this future will be safe even for his children. And that's what Jeff did. That's what many of you did. Thank you very much on his behalf for the scaling up, and thank you.
The night started with the announcement of the winner of Monday night's Portfolio Solutions Exchange, the honor of which was bestowed upon the team from the International Maritime Organization for their Glo-X model of GEF IWC interventions.
This recognition is not just ours, it's all of you, because many of you in this room contributed to the success of the GloBallast. So all what we have done here is to take your ideas further, and you have been encouraging, nurturing us, and participating in the project. So it is this room's success, not just ours. So thank you so much for that, and thank you, Jeff, for this great award. And mainly my colleagues from the Secretariat, they were the one who taught me what is pecha kucha is, and helped me doing the presentation. So thank you so much for that, and also our countries. So thank you. Now I can do the dance. Yeah!